Hi there, my name is Dan Stillerman and I'm the founder of Excel Academy. And if you're watching this video, it means that you have taken action. You have registered for Excel 101 here at the beautiful Protea Hotel Wanderers on the 3rd and 4th of March, and we can't wait to see you there. So I really want to thank you for taking action and for investing the time and the money in upskilling yourself, investing in yourself so that you become more confident, more efficient, and more empowered when it comes to Excel. Now, Excel is the most phenomenal business tool. It's the most widely used tool around the world. About 1 billion people use it. But the reality is that most people never get beyond 5% of Excel. It is so powerful, and I've had the privilege and I've been fortunate enough to appreciate and to be immersed in it for 4 years as an actuary. When I started day one of my first job, I was completely clueless. I had no idea. The business was entirely built on Excel, and I had no idea how to work it. There were complicated formulas and tables and macros, and my boss could use the keyboard so efficiently. You could use all the shortcuts, and I was out of my depth. I had no clue how to be efficient and confident on Excel. But over 4 years, I went from being an Excel disaster to an Excel master. And we can't wait to do the same, we can't wait to do the same for you, to take you from being an Excel zero to an Excel hero. So I often compare Excel to a 100-story skyscraper. Some people are on the ground floor, some people on the first, second, third. You might be on the 5th floor of Excel, which means that you're using 5% of it. But the reality is that on Excel 101, we are going to start from the ground up. We're going to build the Excel foundation, and we're going to take you to about 10 or 15%, the 10th or 15th story of the Excel skyscraper. But the reality is some people are on the ground floor, some people are even in the basement. They're too scared to even get started with Excel. So the purpose of this video is to introduce myself, to introduce you to the Excel workshop you've signed up for, and also to give you some foundation before you even walk in the door at the Protea Hotel. Before you get to day one of Excel 101, we want you to have some kind of background knowledge. So very shortly, in a few moments, we're going to cross over to the Excel screen where we're going to show you the Excel interface. We're going to introduce you to the Excel environment so you know all the parts of the Excel screen. We're also going to show you some awesome tricks using the mouse to enter data into your spreadsheet and to edit data, and you're going to feel quite empowered and excited about the Excel 101 workshop, which is coming up in the next few weeks. So I will see you again on the 3rd of March, but we're going to cross over now to the Excel screen, and I hope you enjoy what's coming. Hi there, so it's Dan here again, and welcome to the Excel screen. Now, in preparation for your upcoming Excel 101 workshop, I'd like to take you through some of the areas and the different parts of the Excel interface, the Excel screen, so that you're 100% familiar with this environment before you even step in the door of Excel 101. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Let's start off at the top left-hand corner of the Excel screen. Now, I would just want to re-emphasize, I know I mentioned it a moment ago, but I want to re-emphasize to you that it will be hugely beneficial if you're working with me at the same time as watching this video. So open up an Excel screen, and maybe what you want to do is split your screen. What you can do is open up Excel and then reduce the size of the screen so that it fits maybe half the screen like that. Okay, and then the other half of the screen, if the other half of the screen is your videos, you'll position it over there on the right hand side so that you can actually flip between the two windows very, very easily. Otherwise, if you've got two computer monitors, you might want to position Excel on your one and this video on the other screen. Okay, great. I'm going to maximize the size of this window, which I can actually do using the keyboard shortcut Windows up. Okay, just pressed Windows up and it maximizes the size of my Excel screen. Okay, let's jump to the top left corner of the Excel screen, and this area over here at the top is called the, did you say quick access toolbar? Okay, good stuff. So that is the quick access toolbar, and it's awesome. Why is it called that? Because it gives you quick access, and it's a toolbar. It's a bar with a bunch of tools on it. Now yours might look a little bit different to mine. Mine's got the save button up there. How do I know it's the save button? I can actually move my cursor over it and I see it says save, Control plus S. Okay, so that's awesome. That is throughout any Microsoft Office program, you move your cursor over a button and it pops up with a little tip. It's called a screen tip. It's telling me what the button is, and it's also telling me the keyboard shortcut Control S. The next button over here is undo, but it actually tells me I can't undo because I haven't done anything, and it tells me the keyboard shortcut Control Z. And the next one is redo, but again, I can't redo something I haven't done. So that keyboard shortcut is Control Y. Now I've got a bunch of other buttons and features that I've put on my quick access toolbar. And the advantage of that is that you can quickly access these features. If these are features that you commonly use, that you're using almost every day, several times a day, you want to put them on the quick access toolbar so that you can access them quickly and easily. Okay, now how do we customize what's on our quick access toolbar? Okay, so there's two main ways to do this. The one way is if you click on your little drop down arrow on the right hand side of the quick access toolbar, you see it says customize. Okay, and I've got new, open, save. You see I've got little tick boxes, little ticks next to save, undo, and redo, which means that those are active on my quick access toolbar. And if I want, for example, the new feature, the new button, to be on the quick access toolbar, I just click on it, and there we go. That is new. Okay, Control N is the shortcut. Okay, if I want to remove it, I can go to my list and untick it, and it goes away. Okay, now if I click on the second last option over here, which says more commands, I notice, okay, let's position this in the middle here. I notice that I get this Excel options window opening up here. Okay, and on the left hand side, it's on the tab that says quick access toolbar. Over here, it says choose commands from. But a much, much faster way of doing all of this is simply to go to any command, any button on your ribbon. This area is called the ribbon. We go to any button, for example, wrap text, okay, and we right click it and we say add to quick access toolbar, and there we have it. There's wrap text. It's got the same screen tip. It shows me a little picture of what's going to happen, and it's on the quick access toolbar. So you can do that. You can customize your quick access toolbar to suit your needs, and I encourage you to do so. To get rid of it, we can actually just right click the mouse and say remove from quick access toolbar. So you'll notice that over there, I've got all borders. How did I get that? I clicked on the drop down, and where it says all borders, I right clicked and I added it to the quick access toolbar. Right now, I can't add it because it's already there. So that's why mine is grayed out. But if it's something that you use on a regular basis, I encourage you to add it to the quick access toolbar. In your actual Excel 101 workshop, I'm going to show you an amazing, amazing key on your keyboard, an accelerator key, a magical key that's going to let you access the buttons on your quick access toolbar with just one press of one key on your keyboard. Okay, so you're going to see that when you attend Excel 101. All right, next up, what do we have here? This, as I said, this is called the ribbon. I've got the File tab, which is in green, and this is because I'm on Excel 2013. If you're using Excel 2016, you'll notice that all your tabs are green, but the functionality between Excel 2016, 2013, 2010, all very, very similar. Excel 2007 looks slightly different. It's got a round button over there with the Windows logo instead of the File button. And when you click it, you'll see what happens when we click the File button. Yours will behave slightly differently. But for now, we've got the Home tab, we've got the Insert tab, Page Layout, and every single tab has a whole host of buttons and features that are relevant. So if we go back to the Home tab, why does this say Clipboard over here? And why does that say Font? Those are called groups. Okay, so that is a group name, and you can see it's actually separated with these vertical gray lines. And this is a group of similar buttons and features that all fall under the font category. So here we see bold, and we see there Control B is the shortcut, make your text bold, italics, underline. Those are all the different borders, the fill color, the font color, and so on. Here we have alignment options. Here we have number options, styles, cells, and editing. Okay, so that's how Excel has made your life easier by categorizing each function according to the tab and then according to the group name. Okay, very, very important. And this whole ribbon makes our lives much easier to find the button and the feature that we're actually looking for. All right, awesome. So at the bottom right of some of the groups like clipboard, font, alignment, number, we don't see it at the bottom of styles or cells or editing, but over here we've got this little
launcher. It's called a dialog box launcher. Tiny little button with a little arrow, and it says number format. Don't see what you're looking for? Check out the full set of number formatting options here. If we click that, it opens up a window. Give it a few moments. There we go. Format cells. You've all seen that window. I'm going to close it, and just remember that that is your dialog box launcher. All right, fantastic. Moving down slightly on our screen, we see over here, we move our cursor over this area. That is called the name box. There you have it, name box. Now, in the name box, currently, it's telling me A1, and that's because I'm standing on cell A1. It's column A and row 1. That makes a lot of sense. If I click on that cell over there, that is cell number F9, and my name box shows me that I'm in cell F9. I can adjust the size of the name box over here, these 3 dots. I can make it smaller or bigger to suit my needs. Okay, then over here I've got what's called the formula bar, and we're going to see that when we start typing in this area, when we start typing in any cell, like I'm doing now, if I start typing a random number, I see that it appears in the cell and in the formula bar over there. And when I press enter, it's in the cell, and when I go back onto that cell, I see that the number I've typed is in the cell and in the formula bar. Very, very important. Okay. As I said, these are columns over here, A, B, C, all the way up to X, F, D. Okay, and we're going to get there in a moment. And these are the row numbers, 1, 2, 3, and it goes way, way down. Okay, Excel's sort of like a map. We often compare it to a map. If you think about the map of New York City, of Manhattan, it's a grid. It's got avenues going uptown, downtown, north, south, and then it's got streets going across. So Excel is very similar. It's got columns going up and down, and it's got rows going left to right. Okay, so every single point on the Excel screen has a unique address. Just like every single point on a map has a unique set of coordinates, longitude and latitude, or a unique intersection between the street and the avenue, it's the same in Excel. Every single cell within Excel has a unique address. Okay, awesome. Let's go down now. If we pan down our Excel screen and we have a look here, what you'll notice is I've got sheet 1. And then I've got a little plus sign which says new sheet. Now, when you open up Excel, you might have 1 sheet, but you also might have 3 sheets, depending. And it's not worth worrying about. If you have 3 sheets or if you have 1 sheet, it doesn't really matter. I like having 1 sheet, and I'll show you how to customize that in a couple of moments. If I want a new sheet, I can click on that plus sign, and there we go. There's a brand new sheet. Okay, if I want to delete it, I can right-click on that sheet and say delete. Then it says you can't undo deleting sheets. You might be removing some data. If you don't need it, click delete. Okay, awesome. So that is the Excel environment. If we have a look at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, we've got a couple of things over here. These are the views, which we're not too phased about for now. We're going to have a look at these views in a little bit more detail during the actual workshop. But this is the normal view. That's page layout, and that's page break preview. You might be familiar with different views from Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. Okay, and then on the right of that is your zoom bar. Okay, so our zoom bar, we currently zoom to 100%. If we want to zoom in, we click the plus sign. There we go. We are zooming in, and zoom out, we click the minus sign, and we can also grab this scroll bar over here and we can move it. We can click and drag it to the left or the right. Okay, I'm going to go up, it's back to 100%. Another way to zoom in and zoom out of your Excel screen is to hold down Control and scroll with your scroll ball on your mouse. Okay, that's what I'm doing now. Holding down Control, scrolling up, scrolling down, and there we're back to 100%. All right, fantastic. So I hope that you're more familiar with the different parts and areas of the Excel screen, the Excel interface. I hope you're feeling confident that you know your way around now a little bit better, and you're in a position to use Excel and to appreciate more of its functions when we actually get to Excel 101. Okay, I want to quickly show you in cell A1, I'm going to type the number 1. Okay, and again, I notice that it appears in the cell itself and in the formula bar. There I have the number 1. Okay, and if I press enter and I type the number 2, I see that the same story. Okay, I'm standing on a cell. Now I want to quickly talk to you about the difference. Okay, listen carefully. The difference between being on a cell and in a cell. Okay, I'll say that again. The difference between being on a cell in Excel and inside a cell in Excel. Okay, so what is the difference? Let's start off with being on a cell. Can you see now I'm on cell A1? I'm now on cell A2 because I pressed the down arrow. I'm now on cell A3. Okay, I'm on a cell. But the difference is if I want to get into a cell, okay, and edit what's inside, I've got 3 ways of doing that. Method number 1 is to double click on the actual cell. Okay, and can you see that my cursor, my mouse cursor is actually changed to being a cursor, okay, which we're used to from being inside a cell or being in a Word document. You see that cursor sort of the shape of a capital I. And now I can type, and as I type, it changes the contents of that cell. If I want to get out of the cell without accepting any of the changes, I simply press escape on my keyboard. That takes me out. Okay, a second way to edit what's inside a cell is I go up to the formula bar and I click there. And you can see that my cursor is flashing over there, and again, my cursor is in that same shape. And again, I can start typing whatever I want, and it edits what's inside the cell. I can accept that by pressing enter, or I can reject what I've just done by pressing the escape button. Okay, and the third way, and the way that I actually want to get you used to, and the way I want you to use on an ongoing basis, and I can safely say that I use this one all the time. This method is on the keyboard, and we want you to become a keyboard person instead of being too reliant on the mouse. So the way you're using the keyboard to get inside a cell is by pressing F2. Okay, function 2, F2 on your keyboard. You'll see that all the F buttons are along the top of your keyboard next to the escape button, and you might be able to just press F2 like I've done. You might also instead need to press function F2, the little FN button, which is at the bottom left of your keyboard. It's usually next to control. You might have to press function F2 to go into a cell. Okay, I'm going to press escape to get out of there. Now, assuming I'm standing on a cell and I start typing, let's say I start typing 55. What that does is it overwrites what was inside the cell. So I'll say that again. If I'm on a cell and I start typing, it overwrites what's in the cell. And when I press enter, you can see it accepts it. Okay, so it accepts that I've typed 55 instead of 2, and I'm now going to undo that with Control Z. And if I press F2 to go into the cell and I type 55, it now says 255, 255. Okay, so you see the difference. I'm going to press escape to get out of there. Okay, now you're in a position to come into Excel 101 on day 1 and to be confident that you know your way around and you know how to enter simple data into a spreadsheet and you know how to edit data in a spreadsheet. When you get to Excel 101, we're going to learn so much cool stuff. We're going to learn how to type a list from 1 to 100, for example, in a fraction of the time compared to if you had to go 3, 4, 5, and so on. We're going to learn how to do that in a fraction of the time. We're also going to learn how to type in other lists in a fraction, tiny, in a split second. You're going to have a list of all the days of the week or all of the months in the year. We're going to show you how to do that in the blink of an eye. And I can't wait to see you at day 1 of Excel 101 to teach you all this cool stuff. We're also going to teach you so many keyboard shortcuts. We teach what's called the high 5 efficiency formula, which I've put up on the screen now. It consists of the 5 fingers on a hand, and each finger is starting with an F, and each F is in a different color. And over the course of your Excel 101 workshop, we're going to reveal one by one each of these fingers. Okay, and the first finger is all about using the keyboard, maximizing your efficiency by learning keyboard shortcuts, which is going to make Excel much more fun. You're going to work much faster, and you're going to make fewer errors because you're going to be more in control. So I can't wait to teach you more keyboard shortcuts. You've already learned a few today. And yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've watched till the end. If you're listening to this, you have. So thank you very much for that. Again, thank you for enrolling in Excel 101. And I can't wait to see you there. We'll see you on day 1 of Excel 101. Until then, take care, and I'll see you then.